to another area that is close to both our hearts when it comes to personal branding, and that's actually talking to an audience and putting a talk together, putting a presentation together, which I
Mm.
I helped you do for a You Are the Media event that was going on, and you were live on a stage, which I would imagine is quite scary, having all been locked away for the last 2 years. In that, you really kind of showed your personal brand and your journey. And so that's now something that you would like to take further and step
Yes.
onto more stages and share that story.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I've been on this planet a long time, Jackie, and I've got a lot of stories to tell. We've all got stories to tell, haven't we?
Yeah,
And
well, I
again,
mean, obviously, we all have experience, don't we?
yeah,
We're a similar age, and we've done a lot, and it's
yes,
about putting back, isn't it? It's about sharing.
yeah. And I mean, there's so many. I was thinking about this actually before I came on the call this morning with you, and I was thinking to myself, what is it that really fires me up? And there's so many things. I mean, it's starting a business in my 50s. That's one of the things that I'm really quite proud of. Changing career because 6 years ago, if you'd have said to me, Ella, you're going to be doing you're going to be a podcast guest and you're going to be speaking on a stage and you're going to have, I haven't got like, thousands and thousands of connections on LinkedIn, but I've got a good few. So it's kind of all of those things I've achieved. It's not about me saying, oh, look at me. It's about me saying to other people, you can do this. If I can do it, you can do it. Don't let age be a barrier. Don't let your gender be a barrier, because that's another thing that I'm quite keen to talk about, being an older woman. Don't let being a person of color get in the way of what you want to achieve, because there's so much talk about breaking glass ceilings with all kinds of groups of people, whether it be related to ethnicity, whether it be to gender, whether it be to disability and all that kind of thing. But I really do believe, Jackie, that we're here once on this planet once, and if you have got something that you think you can give back to other people to help them to progress and to live a more fulfilled life, then do it. Don't just keep it to yourself. Now, I know that there's the other side of that being, well, I'm not brave enough to get up and speak about it, or why should anybody want to hear my voice, or my story isn't important enough, and all that kind of thing. And that's where probably I've gone down also incorporated with all those things I've just talked about, is the fact that I want to help people to identify what their personal brand is about, what the purpose of it is, so that they can then use that personal brand to talk about all of those issues that are close to their heart and help other people. That's why I've got my talk that you so wonderfully helped me put together. And I must tell listeners that, because I know we're not going to talk too much about how the talk came about, to that from the start to the end, where I was standing on that stage in May talking to that wonderful group of people in Dorset. But I came to Jackie with a 2,000 word essay and said, this is my talk, Jackie. And she said, yes, well, it kind of is your talk, but let's start deconstructing it a little bit and put it back together. And honestly, she helped me to put it back together into something that was so much better than that 2,000 word essay.
Yeah, and it was a very, very good essay, A star, really. But I seriously thought that you thought I was gonna get you to memorize that, and that was gonna be your talk. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I want. That's why I asked you whether or not we could turn my stories
Yes.
into this signature talk, which I think is what we're describing it as now. And that is, it doesn't mean to say I haven't got other talks in me, but this is my one that's going to hopefully help to raise my personal brand even more.
Yes. And I think, that's what I love to do, is to read between the lines, which is basically what I did with what you produced, that lovely
Mm.
essay, is to read between the lines and pull out the stories that related to that. So then that's what we did, is to find those stories. And once you've got all of that, and I, you know, this, in the process of talking this out loud, I realized this the other day, is that what we did together was find your personal brand, because your personal
Yes.
brand really lives in those stories and those
Yeah.
experiences.